Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where it has become abundantly clear that our cavalry lance just isn't up to scratch. That is very, very obvious at this point. Now, in order to change this, I want to do some things. First off, I don't know what we want to do with the Centurion yet, and I should note this is going to be an administrative episode. We probably won't actually deploy this episode. We're going to be working a lot with finances, getting new mechs rolling, and figuring out where the mechs are going to go in our current setup. So, as far as this goes, I think we don't want to be paying to keep the Striker readied. We're going to go ahead and send that to storage. These repair instantly. We don't need more than 4 vehicles. I honestly don't know why we have this many options. I guess if you don't have a set number of these. It does bear noting that these are a bit underperforming as well, in that, yeah, they're difficult to hit, but against the enemies that we're going up against, if they do get hit, they get hit hard. And occasionally just instantly die. The question is, are we going to do anything about that right now? And I think given our current vehicle doctrine, I'm not sure that there's anything to do about it. The vehicle doctrine is fast movers that can get in behind, do a bunch of damage, or overheat. And then there's the Nidhogg. It kind of fits in with that. It's more of a supporty AoE for that. However, we definitely need to work on our smaller, or not really our smaller mechs. We need to work on our other mechs, for sure. So, what I want to have is we already know what our vehicle lance is supposed to be, right? I want to have a Juggernaut lance. That's going to be pretty much assaults, although for right now, it's going to be long-range slow movers, more specifically. So we're going to move these guillotines out of here for now. I do want to rework them. Now, this guillotine... Actually, I'm not sure which is which. Yeah, I definitely don't know which is which. Actually, this is the guillotine with the pulse lasers because it moves faster. Okay, so these guillotines, I'm going to want to rework them, so we're actually going to stop work on these for right now. And the reason I want to rework them is I want them to take the role that the Hunchback and the Chameleons used to take. Now, the Raven we're just repairing enough to put into storage, and this Chameleon is going to take this Raven's spot in our lighter lance. So we're going to need a lighter lance, right? We know that's going to be a thing. And it's going to be, for now, these 4. And that'll be for subbing in on weight-restricted missions and things like that. Now, our cavalry lance... And we need to figure out what we want to do with this Blackjack. The Blackjack kind of doesn't fit into our current doctrine. The Archer is definitely going to be considered a Juggernaut and be kept as is. Same with the Jaeger. That's going to be an as-is Juggernaut. The Imp is going to fit into that role. We are currently lacking in drop capacity for that Imp. So that's definitely something we need to think about. And then the guillotines are definitely going to be reworked into cavalry mechs. And we're going to need a couple more of those, right? So we need another mech in our Juggernaut lance. And we need 2 more mechs in our cavalry lance. So we'll hop into our storage here and see what we've got. I'd like heavies and assaults. Now we know we have 2 assaults that are ready to be readied, and I am going to go ahead and ready both of them. We've got the Sorcerer here. We're going to ready that. There we go.
That mech is ready to fight.
Indeed. I agree with Yang. It might be a little overzealous. However, I also want this Victor, and this is perhaps a good cavalry mech. We'll take a look at what we can do speed-wise. It usually mounts a 330 XL. That's not too bad. Okay, so with those readied, the question... That's not ideal. It resorts this? That's not the way the original game works. Maybe only when you get a new one. At any rate, the Centurion goes here. Actually, the Raven goes here. The Vulcan, Panther. This is fine. We can get this redone very quickly. The Blackjack is kind of a question mark right now, although... yeah, we'll have to think about that. Archer and Jaeger go here. We don't yet know where the Victor and the Sorcerer are going, although I'm guessing that one of them will come down into the Juggernaut Lance, or rather into the Cavalry Lance. For now, we'll probably put the Chameleon into the Cavalry Lance, and then the Blackjack down here into our smaller lance, and then we will move, I think, the Victor into the Cavalry Lance. We'll just do that. Okay, so something along those lines. Now, of course, we're going to need to make a lot of money to actually put all these together. So, let's hop into the store and see what we can sell for right now. We're going to need to put together a fair amount of cash here. So we're going to go into selling, and we're going to see what we've got available. We've got this Javelin. We're never going to use this Javelin again. Let's sell it. We've got this Striker. Sell it. We've got 3 AC2s, 3 AC5s. Anything that is, I think, over 4 or 5 in these weapons. Ooh, those Arrow 4s. We might put those on that Sorcerer. That would be interesting. Binary Laser, yep. ER Medium Laser Magnas. We'll keep those. Those are pretty useful to keep around. Heavy Flamers, we may keep those. I think we'll keep them for now. Anything else that we've got a good surplus on, or just simply don't need. Mag Shots, we don't have any ammo for it. Let's sell those for now. And if we get ammo for them, we'll probably also get a Mag Shot. Mortar 8, never going to use it. MRM 20s, MRM 40s, those are pretty good. We're going to keep those around. We don't need 7 SRM 4s. I'm going to sell 2 of them. Excellent. What else do we have here? 2 generic armors. I'm going to sell 1 of those. This is a lot of case. I'm going to sell 2 cases. We'll keep the clan cases, though. We'll keep the Actually, do we need 4 endosteel structures? I'm going to sell 1. We'll keep around 3 endosteel structures. Okay, in terms of these engines, we want to keep 1 in stock is what I like to do, just in case we end up needing them. And that's exactly what we've got. That's perfect. 3 XL engines and a Clan XL engine, we'll keep that around. Artemis 4 FCSs. I don't think we need 3 and 3 Clan Artemis FCSs, so we'll do that. Missile HP, sure. We don't need 16 FCS standards. We're going to keep around maybe 3 of those. Okay, ferrofibers we'll definitely keep. 39 heat sinks. I'm going to sell this down to 25. We want to keep a good number of these around. Actually, no. I'm going to sell down to 30. Okay, there we go. A lot of jump jets here. Small jump jets. I don't think we need any of these at this point. We'll keep the heavy jump jets around. And we'll sell the jump jet eyes as well. Excellent. Make ourselves some additional cash there. Anything else we don't need here? We don't need 4 basic sensors. We will sell that down to 1 basic sensor. Otherwise, I think this is pretty good. Maybe these rifles. Get rid of the heavy rifle ammo. I mean, I'm not too interested in the rifles. I'm more interested in autocannons, or even better, ultra autocannons. Otherwise, I think we are doing pretty well. Okay, so let's hop into the mech bay now. And now we are going to go through everything that we've got in terms of our components. Not our storage. Well, actually, our storage works fine. These are basically the same view, aren't they? Okay, that's that view. Right. We want to be in the storage view here, which does take some time to populate. Excellent. Okay. Do we want a Stormcrow? We might want a Stormcrow, actually. Timberwolf? Definitely not Vectors. We're going to scrap these vector parts. Some of these we do want. That is for sure. Griffin, Warhammer. Actually, I'm going to scrap the Griffin parts here. I'm not a huge fan of Griffins. We'll get rid of that. The Ifrit, I think we will go ahead and get rid of. I'm not too keen on Ifrits. I would prefer a Nidhogg or a Seth or something along those lines. If we can find an even bigger heavy bomber, that would be ideal. But we'll see for now. So we'll scrap those Ifrit parts and make quite a lot of money off of that. The Battlemaster and the Corsair parts we're definitely keeping around. Marauder 2, sure. Highlander. This Griffin, once again, I'm not a huge fan of Griffins. We'll just take the cash. Shiltron. It's a wheeled vehicle. It only moves 3 to 5 hexes. What exactly is this armament? 4x large laser exostar? I mean, that's a pretty decent fire support vehicle. We'll keep those parts around. Imp parts, Stalker parts, we're keeping. Atlas parts, absolutely. Victor parts, sure. Nightstar, yep. Definitely keeping that. Banshee, Stalker, Galahad. Do we care about a Galahad? These aren't great hard points. Other variants of a Galahad might be good, but I think we'll get rid of that one for now. Next up, Kodiak, we're keeping. The Vapor Eagle. I mean, Veagles are a pretty good medium. We'll keep that around. Executioner, yes please. Corsair, sure. Atlas, Timberwolf, yep, we'll keep that. Orion, same thing. Roughneck. The Roughneck is actually a halfway decent mech. We'll keep that around. Battlemaster, Longbow, absolutely. Hunchy, this I will scrap. There we go. The Cicada. We'll scrap that as well. Not too interested in a Cicada at this time. Trebuchet, same thing. Really not interested. Quick Draw, I feel like is a little small for our cavalry lance at this point, so we're going to get rid of it for now. I'd rather have the cash at this moment. Archer parts, we'll keep. Roughneck, sure. This heavy carrier, it moves 2 and 3 hexes and is armed with 4x LRM-20 Zeuses. I mean, that's pretty good. We can't ready it. We'll just take the cash for right now. We'll probably get the parts for it eventually later. The Ballista, we're definitely getting rid of. I mean, we're using our vehicles as more of engagements than fire support. We may want to change that eventually, but I like to have the vehicles be able to support the cavalry lance, which I'm hoping that we can get the cavalry lance fast enough for that. Once again, this guy's pretty slow, so we will scrap that. I want fast-moving vehicles, and I realize that you're not going to get fast-moving heavy vehicles, but I also don't want to burn too much tonnage on our vehicles. That's the other concern there. So we'll scrap this trebuchet part. We're up over 5 million C-bills at this point, and the question is, how much is enough? That is a good question. Maybe we stop this here and come back to it if we need more money. So let's hop back into the bays. And let's first work on this Victor. I would love to get this guy fast enough. Like, ideally 8 hexes in a sprint. It, by default, is 6 hexes with an engine core 320. Okay, that's probably okay. Just repairing this is 500k C-bills. That's not too bad. We can drop this PPC and this medium pulse laser. We are running endosteel structure, double heat sinks currently. Drop these jump jets for now. Max out that armor. Okay. I do want to run... I think Heavy Pharaoh is probably good here. Double heat sinks are going to be interesting in terms of slot budget. So Heavy Pharaoh may not actually work here. We may have to go with Clan Pharaoh Fibro here. Yeah, I think that's probably a better idea. Now, this mech is intended for closing in and getting up close and personal. We've got 8 tons available in the specialist slots. I want to utilize... Where was that? Not the handheld MML necessarily. Do we have hand actuators? We have a single hand actuator. Does a combat shotgun require 2 hand actuators or 1? Let's find out. 2 free hand actuators. Okay, that's okay. No real worries there. We will instead probably toss on this chainsaw. Okay. So that's fine. I would like to put more in the specialist slots. Actually, does this require 2 hand actuators? Yes. Okay, so we can't utilize that. That's okay. Now, we've currently got an Engine Core 320 in here. Can we soup that up? We've got a 380. I mean, there's that. If we put that in there, we would have some tonnage remaining. This is expensive, of course, but I expect this. We could potentially also put in the heatsink plus 5 with a 380. Yeah, that could work. And then we have about 26 tons to devote to weaponry. This guy moves at 4 and 7 hexes. That's about as good as we're going to get for right now. Okay. That's fine. We could give him stealth armor. That'd be hilarious. It requires ECM, of course. It would be funny. We'll see what we have available for tonnage. A UAC-20. That's actually a pretty good option here, I feel like. We're going to need ammo for that. Do we have UAC-20 ammo? We do. We have 4 tons of it. Do we need 4 tons? This is 5 shots. Of course, this uses 2 ammo per shot. So that is 5 turns of ammo there. Do we need more than 5 turns of ammo, though? I kind of doubt it. That said, I think we want to move this to this torso. It's a safer location. So we'll position it in the torso instead. And then we've got 3 laser weapon hardpoints. We could just slot in, like, something along the lines of pulse lasers. Like a clan medium pulse laser over here, followed by a medium pulse laser and a large pulse laser out in this arm. That does put us slightly overweight. Our heat is fine, though. So what if... Well, our heat is fine adjacent anyway. What if instead of the large pulse laser, what if we ran, say, an ER large laser? That's about the same heat and the same exact weight. Okay. I'd rather run a medium laser here, honestly. Or medium pulse. But I think just a medium laser is slightly better. We'll run a regular medium laser in that slot. And then we do have... Wait, no, not the large pulse laser. Get out of there, large pulse laser. Just a regular medium laser in this slot. Then we have 4 tons to work with, and our heat efficiency is just through the roof, to the point where we don't really need this engine heatsink plus 5. Unless we were to manage to burn additional heat off somewhere. Like, maybe instead of the medium laser, we have 5 tons available. Maybe we drop off this medium pulse laser and put on, like, a PPC of some variant. Perhaps a snub nose? Where are our PPCs at? Here we go. So we could do an ER PPC if we really wanted to utilize heat. Or we could do a snub nose PPC. And I feel like the snub nose is better for the roll here. And then we'd have 1.4 tons remaining. So what we could do, in theory, is we could run another medium laser here. We could drop this medium pulse laser down to a medium laser. Like this. How's our heat efficiency? Still more than good enough. Okay. And then we could utilize this hardpoint, or maybe these missile hardpoints. But with only 1.424 tons remaining, we could put a machine gun over here for crit rolls. And then we could spread out some ammo. "2x critical chance on the ammo machine guns? The high explosives?" Yes. I think we take this. And we'll put this... I don't really want to put it anywhere. But I guess we'll put it in this leg. Actually, we'll put it in this leg. That way, if it explodes and goes up over here, it won't take out the AC-20. Just some of its ammo. Okay, I like that. And then we're going to need to drop a little bit of weight in terms of our armor. Perhaps we drop like 1 point of armor across the entire mech's chassis. That would work. That's barely dropping any armor. We're technically slightly underweight, but I like this. That's 1.4 mil, but this is a decent cavalry mech. It's very expensive for sure, but we've got the cash. So let's go ahead and do that. The next question is... Oh yeah, that's annoying. Okay, well, I know where things go, even if this likes to mess it up all the time. Let's next work on this Sorcerer. This is again going to be very expensive, and we need to decide if we want to... Actually, what's these hardpoints looking like? It's got the single MRM-40 on it already. We could utilize the other MRM that we have, the other MRM-40, or we could go for Thunderbolts here and have this essentially replace the Centurion. Or not Thunderbolts, Arrow 4s. And I think we can get away with that. We've currently got an Engine Core 380 in this. That puts it at a movement of 4 and 6. So we put a Thunderbolt there, and not a Thunderbolt. An Arrow 4 there, and an Arrow 4 here. We drop this double MRM. We're completely fine right now for heat sink. That's fascinating. Let's go ahead and max this armor. That gives us 5.3 tons to work with. Now, each ton of Arrow 4 ammo gives us... How many rounds is this? 5 shots. Okay. So that gives us 5 turns of ammo. That gives us 10 turns of ammo. That is plenty. Absolutely plenty. As backup weapons, we could just slot in a pair of medium lasers. It's going to put us slightly overweight, but I'm okay with that. We'll deal with that in a moment, probably by slapping on some ferrofibrous armor, or perhaps endosteel structure is better here. Oh, wow. Endosteel structure is real good here. With ferrofibrous, do we have the slots for ferro? No, we don't. Okay. How do I want to handle this then? Because I'm actually considering dropping these medium lasers for large. We don't really have the tonnage for that, though. What's our heat efficiency like with just ER mediums? I mean, pretty garbage. We could put in a couple of double heat sinks. We do have, I think, 1 or 2 of them. Oh, these are clan double heat sinks. However, we could put in the engine heat sinks here. That is something we could absolutely do. An engine heat sink plus 3 would fit in here. That would give us 1 ton to work with. No real hard points. Maybe a laser AMS? That's 1.5 tons. It's an option. We could then drop, say, 5 points of armor from every location, except the head. Not the head. We don't actually need to drop 5 points of armor from every location. Okay, that's fine. If we do this and max out that armor, what's it put it at? Okay, it takes it out of the legs. I mean, this guy's going to be far enough back that that should be okay, right? Do we have an indirect FCS? I mean, an improved FCS is nice, I suppose. We could also put in advanced sensors. That does require tonnage, though. I think we'll just put in the improved FCS into here. And then we've got basic sensors in here right now. Yeah. We don't really have any better sensors currently other than an ECM sensor, which requires tonnage. So I think we call this good. Do it. Excellent. So the Sorcerer is obviously intended to be pretty standoffish and firing artillery.
I'll get it in the schedule.
Okay, I like that a lot. Now for the Imp. We've only got 2.7 mil remaining. That's okay. And again, we're going to need to increase our amount of available... Our amount of available tonnage for this. There's no doubt about that. Now... this guy, he's pretty slow. He's going to have a hard time getting in, so he should really be equipped with some long-range weaponry. I'm thinking a Gauss rifle in this shoulder. What is the default of this thing? That's not what I was looking for. Can we see the tooltip here? No. Okay. So for now, we don't have a fusion core in this. He, by default, has an engine core 300... and an engine heatsink plus 2. We can put in an engine heatsink plus 2, absolutely. And then perhaps that engine core 300. Yeah, we got one of those. His speed isn't great, but it doesn't need to be. He's a juggernaut. We've got this ERPPC here. I think we dropped these medium lasers temporarily. And he came with these double heatsinks, which is nice. We've got 34 tons to work with here. We definitely max out this armor. And then I think we toss in a Gauss rifle. And I would be interested in having perhaps 2 tons of Gauss ammo. I know that's in here somewhere. Okay, not heavy Gauss ammo, just regular Gauss ammo. This doesn't explode, but we're still going to put it in the legs. And that is 16 rounds of ammo. That is plenty of ammunition for this Gauss. Okay, other decently ranged weapons. We could drop the ERPPC in favor of large lasers, perhaps even large pulse lasers. How many of those do we have? We only have the one. We could put a large pulse laser over in this torso. That is definitely something we could do. And then that would give us 5 tons to work with. Now our heat is going to be up there. But that's okay, we have options. 5 tons to work with, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laser hardpoints. Okay. I think we drop the ERPPC here. And we run the ER large laser to be a little bit more heat efficient here in terms of our tonnage. Now, I don't think that we have any double heat sinks. We may have to drop this down to single heat sinks, which is not necessarily tonnage efficient. We actually have a standard heatsink kit in here. Okay, yeah, and we don't have... Can we run clan heatsinks here? Clan double heatsinks? They do take less slots. We do have a kit. Is that valid? That's valid. That's amazing. So our heat is, as it is right now, fantastic. So we've got that large pulse laser. We've got the ER large laser. We do have a second ER large laser. So we can do that. And then some ER mediums. An ER medium here, here, here. Yeah, our heat is awful. We'll deal with that in a moment. I just want to see how many of these we can get in here. It's a lot, is the answer. And then, like, the binary laser here. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. But we're 7 tons overweight, and we already knew that was going to be the case. I'm going to drop the large pulse, move this ER laser over here, and we're going to put the ER medium laser here. That actually puts us pretty close, but we have horrible heat efficiency. We're dropping the binary laser, obviously, but it'd be funny. Okay, we are definitely going to run some clan double heat sinks. Here and here for sure. Probably all of these, actually. Like that. That's all of the heat sinks we can run. And then we're probably just going to run... Let's see, we're actually going to move this double heatsink over here, just because we need these slots. We're going to run, then, a pair of regular medium lasers, or maybe small lasers, if we get in close. I think we'll just run regular medium lasers down here. Agras do overheat, but we don't have any more medium lasers. So we'll do something like this. And then we have 0.25 tons remaining. I'm not sure that there's anything that we can put into that 0.25 tons. I mean, we could run XL engines, I suppose. But we don't have any more double heat sinks, and our heat efficiency is already pretty small. I wonder. Did we use that +3? Yes, we did use the +3 for the engine heat sinks. Okay, never mind. I was going to say we could up that and downgrade these to small lasers or something, but I think this is as good as we're going to get. Most of the time, I'm expecting that we're going to be using the Gauss rifle and the ER larges. And then as we get a little bit closer in, our heat profile will ramp up with the using of the ER mediums. And then when we're in range of the regular mediums, we're going to have to not fire the ER larges. But I think this is good. I think this is a decent Juggernaut mech here. I wouldn't necessarily mind running perhaps reactive plating. It's not worse against laser weaponry, and it's just better against ballistic and missile attacks. So we'll run reactive plating on this guy too. There's no point in not doing it, I think. So we'll validate that. Great. Okay. So we're almost done here. Yes, we've spent a lot of money. We have spent a whole lot of money. These guillotines, I think, let's see, this is the one with the, yeah, this is the plinking one. I'm going to refit this one too. For now, we'll leave the other guillotine the way it is. But we'll refit this one. This is a lot of standard heat sinks. There's no doubt about that. And this is not great armor. We're definitely going to max out that armor. That wasn't all that useful. We're going to drop the PPCs. I think both of them. And we've got the ER large laser. That is maybe something that we want to keep on there. And then I would love to run the combat shotgun. We do not have hand actuators. However, I am kind of interested in upgrading this from an Engine Core 240. And we'll also max out this armor. There we go. An Engine Core 240 up to, I mean, we could run a 320. That would put us overweight as is. And that's okay. We can drop a couple of heat sinks. We're going to have to deal with our armament, of course, but I'm going to actually just drop all of these, and we'll redo the armament here. Now, a 320 is going to get us not tremendously fast, but fast enough, I guess. Okay, so with this, we will have how much for our weapons and heat sinks? 17.549 tons. Okay. So with that being the case, I want to run relatively efficient weaponry here. Although maybe we use the binary laser as our primary weapon. And we position that here. And then everything else needs to be quite efficient. So we can have, say, a pair of medium lasers here. And then everything else uses small lasers. We'll use the ER small laser Blaze Fire, but every other laser hardpoint here will be a small laser, which is actually only 2. Okay, so this is, you know, quite a bit worse in terms of its damage output, but its heat efficiency is quite a lot better. It's still not great. We need to work on that a little bit, of course. But our movement and our durability are up, which is good. We could run an XL engine. That is definitely something we could do. And that is definitely something that we should do. With that extra tonnage, I'm going to drop this small laser, and we're going to run an additional medium laser. Maybe even pulse lasers, depending on what our heat looks like. Yeah, instead of these medium lasers, let's run pulse lasers with that extra weight. And maybe even a small pulse. Our heat efficiency is still better than it was. And then we can just fill this thing up with generic heat sinks. Just all the heat sinks. I don't want them all in this torso, though. So we'll put a couple over in this torso as well. And we can still fit a few more, but we are now full on slots. So that indicates to me that we should upgrade this ER small laser to something slightly bigger. Maybe we make this a large pulse laser, but we don't have the tonnage for that. We can upgrade... No, I do want this to be the Blaze Fire. I really, really do. We could just drop the endosteel structure. That'll put us overweight. And I'd prefer not doing that. Maybe we have an XL gyro? There's also claws, but we're not going to do that for now. Do we have an XL gyro? I wish there was a search box for this. That would be nice. I don't think we have an XL gyro. Sad. We are currently running Heavy Ferro. We could downgrade that to Ferrofibrous, which would give us more slots to work with. And then we could put on an extra heat sink. We would have to drop a little bit of armor. But we could put that, say, there. Max out that armor. And, of course, we're going to need to manually max it out. Okay, so we have an extra ton to throw in the legs. We'll take these to 105 for now. 120. Still doing good. Can we max these? Not quite. Okay, so down to 140, 135. Okay, and then we'll just bring this up. And something like that. Excellent. Yes, it's a downgrade of damage output, but we couldn't effectively utilize that damage output because of the heat. Upgrading this to double heat sinks would be a big, big improvement. We don't have those right now. We don't have the cash for this. Hang on, what's this going to do if we dip into debt here? That is a good question. Is it going to instantly lose the game for me? Because if it does, then we lose all of what we've done so far. And I don't want to do that. The store is gone now. That no longer works. I guess we'll find out what happens here. This is real risky, though. I think it's if you're negative when the month ticks, though. I think. To be clear, we will not be ending this if this ends the game because we are not actually bankrupt. I'm just going to go sell stuff, right? But let's see what happens here. Is it just going to say you don't have the cash? I'm curious. It's just sitting there. Okay.
Our nest egg is just about gone, Commander.
We're now in debt. Okay, so that's fine. We, of course, are going to get rid of some more components, or rather some more storage, some parts in here. I'm going to go to the bottom here, and we're going to go until we have about 2 mil, I think. We're going to get rid of this scorpion, for sure.
We're nearly broke, Commander.
Yes,
Our nest egg is
I'm aware, Darius. You don't have to tell us this every time. So I think I'm just going to continue working on this and get us out of debt here. Darius is just going to keep pestering us. But this is not particularly interesting, this section. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep doing this until we have about 2 million. I'm going to put a cut in here. It's going to happen off camera because Darius is just going to keep bothering us. So you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time when we will actually have cash and hopefully be able to deploy again. See you all next time.